Hello again. Welcome back to another episode of The Works. I'm Jim.
I'm Diane.
Haven't seen anybody guess at our contest yet.
Yeah,
Maybe we made it too hard, but that's okay. We'll let it go for a couple more days, and if it's too hard, like I said, the hint, 2 hints with the music mashup montage. Ooh, that's a good music montage mashup, or mashup montage.
Yeah, that's good. And maybe people are catching up.
Sure, that's true. The songs that are in the mashup all have one thing in common. That's the hint, and there's 8 of them. So, before we dive into food industry topic that you were wanting to go into, I had a couple things. I wanted to introduce this a while ago, and I spitballed it with you. Things that drive me nuts, which I think you weren't necessarily hesitant to allow me that topic, but
we could go on forever.
Well, that's the problem.
One.
Is I'm sure in your opinion, everything drives me apeshit. So I guess I can limit it to
highlight it once a week.
Yeah, sure. Well, unfortunately, I have 2 things.
Okay.
We just discovered one a bit ago, and we did talk about this recently, artificial intelligence, and I was taken aback that transcripts of this are available. Our discussion, there is a transcript that Spotify creates. I'm not as familiar with the other platforms, which that's a whole other thing I want to see. We could dedicate a half hour to how pissed off I am at things. Or maybe it's just the lack of understanding. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But so we have, we reached some milestone just recently with the podcasts, and they provide free transcripts, which I thought was kind of nice. I'm not sure what you do with it, but so I looked at it and I downloaded one, and there was one from the crypto discussion that said I said the F word. It's in the transcript.
Right.
Now,
and that's not a word that
I don't typically, and I
no, I think in 24 years I don't think I've ever really heard you drop the F-bomb.
Here's what's effed up, is the fact that the AI transcript has me saying the F word. Now, I did go back and we were listening to it, and maybe it's at 38 minutes into the crypto, 38 minutes and 30 seconds, and I do say, well, but I don't say the entire word. It almost sounded like it was censored. And the reason I'm sensitive to it is because one of the things that, from a standards perspective, we declared that there's no mature content, i.e. there's no harsh language.
Right.
And I certainly would not want to offend anybody who's got kids listening or vice versa.
You might have said flip, but
I
you don't say the
say
F word.
It. So long story short, that's what. So I guess we can give an award to AI again, because I'm sure AI will pop up in many other things that drive me apeshit. And I was going into it today wanting to talk. So AI drives me nuts, and USB cords drive me nuts. There are so many different flavors of A and B and C, and the color that's inside of it is also a variation of A, B, or C.
See, I didn't know that. I just swear when something doesn't charge very fast.
Well,
I'm an idiot.
That's part of it, is that the certain USB-Cs have to have, it's blue or orange if they're not white. So the other side, not the C side, but the standard USB side, the bigger one, the wider one.
Mm-hmm.
If it's white inside, then it's not going to give you the ability to do more than, I think, 3.2 volts or whatever. Hell, it's not the fast charging.
Okay.
If you want that, you need to, have a USB AC adapter that certainly can sense that. And you need to have inside of it a orange or blue or purple. And so, I should we should have a whole discussion on USB cords. So those are the things that.
I thought it was just me leaving my coffee mugs everywhere.
Well, we can go into a third one that drives me apeshit. The fact that there's I mean, that's your thing. And the shoes. I know I'm certainly not pleasant to live with. Always bitching about everything in this case. But so, yeah, those are the two winners of my things that drive me crazy. AI is not, it's just, okay. So here's another one. We got an AI. Well, we got an email today that was congratulating us on being a podcast that's so young, but yet with so many episodes.
Right, that we have more episodes than most podcasters have done.
And so, of course, I'm thinking, okay, what are they trying to sell? And they're trying to sell their service.
Right, hooking you up with guests.
Yeah, which hey, I would love to have guests, and we're going to maybe talk about that in the whole food main topic. But yeah, so we get this email congratulating us on, I thought I won a major award.
Fragile.
It's Fragile. It's
Must
Italian.
be Italian.
Yeah. Thought we won some major award. But what's nice, though, is the group that did send us, I thought at first it was AI, or maybe I'm not convinced that it's not, but they were willing to be a listener for us, which is nice because that's boosting your numbers, right? It's all about getting more people to listen. But yeah, the premise behind the service is, like you said, they have another platform in which they
hook you up with guests. Yeah.
And they wanted us to be part of that platform where they limit the number of podcasts in it, which, again, maybe it's,
right.
Maybe we need advice. Maybe that's a great thing. And maybe we've oversaturated ourselves because, when we first started to venture down this path, we thought it was, and they make it so easy. When you do a podcast on Spotify, you can,
it creates the RSS feed
for all the other ones, because, and as a matter of fact, that's kind of an interesting stat. As I, keep sharing with you the cities and states and countries that have joined the family of the Works listeners. What was interesting is that, there was a fight between Android and the iTunes platform. In essence, the Android folks versus the Apple folks. Oh, that's a whole other thing that drives me nuts. The whole Apple thing, and you forget your password, but you don't own an Apple device to reset it on. Oh, all right, we'll go into that another.
Yeah.
But so, up until yesterday, the Apple platform and the Android platform were a dead heat. And now we have web browser competing with this thing called podcast. Let me look it up. There's in essence a third or a fourth now. So it's like, for me, you're either listening on, Spotify, which, again, isn't Spotify on both Mac or Apple and Android?
I think so. I don't know. Considering we're not Apple folks.
No. Okay, that's enough. You wanted to talk about food industry.
Yeah, food for thought. Well, it's part of our entertainment. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, whether it's cooking shows and meal delivery services and
well, they've glorified the cook, and I'm not knocking what a cook is. I mean,
right
now you have to address them. You go
yes,
to
chef.
Yeah, yes, chef. As opposed to medical doctor who's spent 8 years educating themselves in order to be called the doctor.
Right.
And again,
you step into the kitchen and it's
yes,
chef.
Chef.
But because there are all these celebrity chefs, and we get the idea that, well, that'd be a cool vocation until you realize it's like, before there were podcasts, how many good radio positions were there? How many Howard Sterns were there? But now you have all these celebrity chefs, and I wonder on these cooking shows, were they celebrities celebrity chefs before they got on a show, or did they become a celebrity because they were on a show? I just don't know.
Well, so who? I guess in your mind, what's the first one that leaps to mind? And is it Gordon Ramsay? Because again, he's got a franchise in his own right with Hell's Kitchen and Nightmare Kitchen and Kitchen.
Right.
That's
There's
probably
so
another
many
one
of
coming
those.
up.
No, but he was a chef first. But I guess we could go back to the original celebrity chef, Julia Child. Do you remember her?
Of course. Yeah, she was on PBS.
PBS. And she famously lit so many things on fire.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She would get out the blowtorch too.
Oh, right, with creme brulee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was one of the first celebrity chefs. Didn't I hear she was a spy?
Really? And where was that?
I don't know. Maybe it was just alluded to in the show Julia and Julia. That was a cute.
Oh. Yeah, I say that and I'm trying to. Wasn't it something to do with the husband
Was
was
a spy or in the military or something?
she had nothing to do with him. She was busy making her beef bourguignon.
Bourguignon.
Which is what again? That's not the one that the
it's
Gordon
like
Ramsay
a beef
held.
stew.
Okay.
You have red wine in it.
Well, what's the
and
one?
She would always drink when she would cook.
Yeah. Well, the Gordon Ramsay one. What's the one that he's always besides his risotto?
Well, it's always risotto.
Yeah, but no, Wellington.
Beef Wellington.
That's where you have
it's
bread
encrusted.
around.
Yeah.
What is it?
Pastry.
Okay, so your fillet is in a croissant.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to sum it up.
So how do you get? Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I've never made one, but
so yeah,
so you have all these different, cooking shows and celebrity chefs. Whether, you had the Boy Meets Grill, that was Bobby Flay's entry into everything, and then early on, I loved watching Alton Brown. He brought the science because we all know I'm the science geek here. I loved the fact that he explained what you were doing and the reason why you were doing it. And when we were homeschooling the kids, that was always a fun science part is, we do a little bit of cooking and you learn a little bit of science. And I enjoyed it, whether they did. That's a whole nother ball of wax there, whether the kids enjoyed it. But, you also have baking shows, the British baking shows. And then my favorite show, Nailed It.
Yeah, that one's clever. Or is it Cake? But see, those are more. Those are the more satirical sort of.
But Nailed It was more my style. The premise of that is you had this classically trained French baker, and he would show these outlandish things, and then you had these home bakers come in, and they had to try and make it. And we all know I'm not very artsy and not very crafty, but I can't make things look all that good. And
well,
so
we should post the pictures of you would go out of your way to make the kids' cakes, birthday cakes. Well, no, and the themes
Some
were
of
pretty
them were
good.
okay.
No, the themes were great. Whether it was the Sack Boy from the
that was easy, or
Kirby.
But the butt cake didn't quite work out. Nailed it.
The butt. What was that for?
They wanted a buttocks, and so I made it look like plumber's butt. Jeans.
Right. Is that all because? Is it the whole Tina fascination with?
I don't recall.
Tina from.
Yeah, I did it. I did an okay
Bob's
Tina
Burger.
cake. Yeah.
No, we did. Yeah.
My SpongeBob was good, but on this Nailed It show, these people turn these things around, and you have to straight face say Nailed It, and they're abominations.
That's cute. That's not. Yeah. To your point, it's Netflix, but I guess I think what you're getting at is that as far as entertainment goes, most of what you see isn't practical for what you're doing at home. Except we have discovered some social media darlings and stars that, as a matter of fact, we've reached out. We'd love to have them as guests to give us some advice on how to do this whole social media platform. But when it comes down to these, back Julia Child, it was all about French cooking. And the movie's premise was somebody that was a big fan wanted to get and cook every meal in the book. And for the most part, French cuisine is not a typical American selection, right? It was, and so that almost in a way, because she was on PBS as well, kind of put her content in a realm of, it was just good. It was neat to watch, but you wouldn't apply it. Same, my point too. In some of these, shows like, where Gordon Ramsay got that one where you got kitchens on different levels, and I don't know what the hell.
I do like, was it Chopped, where they give you this odd things that don't go together and you make a meal out of it.
But again, that's not practical for somebody who's again.
Right. Well, as a mom, you do that several times a week.
Not with
you don't know what's in your pantry, and you're like, well, I'll take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and don't ask what it is. And then if it's good and you want to recreate it, you don't know because you don't know what ingredients you had. But so, yeah, I guess I'm doing Chopped.
Well, sure. But to your point, it wasn't these mystery baskets.
Yeah, are ridiculous, are gross things.
Had the absolute worst things in them. Cigarette butts, half-eaten chocolate cake, and
some black licorice.
And you're supposed to
make something gourmet out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so, the shows, and I guess it's entertainment, but at the same time, it's a how-to. At least that format, in my opinion.
But I don't want to watch a video. I mean, it'd give me an idea of what I want to look up for a recipe, but as a home cook, I want a written recipe. I don't want to have to watch a recipe. And I don't understand the whole TikTok recipes.
We just recently discovered Kathy Madigan, comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And she's started, she's got a podcast as well, but she also does these Midwest cooking, segments from her kitchen.
Right, with a drink in hand.
And her mother's recipes. Again, clever. So what was the last one? It was the crab dip to bring to a party. And the idea there was and truly a legitimate, as her theme is Midwest cuisine.
Yeah, it's not good for you, but you don't eat it every day, You can't go to a party without the cocktail meatballs. And for those of you that don't know, it's meatballs, and it's a jar of Heinz chili sauce and grape jelly. That's it.
Yeah, it's great.
But us Gen Xers, we grew up with that kind of stuff. So, yeah, her videos are fun. You're not watching them so that you can figure out what to cook. I mean, you might look it up just because if she can do it, I can do it.
One of the angles that she has, a lot of these recipes, and again, back to your point, come from something that was written down from mom or something that was, a church, that was a Midwest thing. You good fundraiser, $20, and everyone throws their recipes at some publisher, and then they sell that.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes this Kathleen Madigan kind of cute is that she'll start reading some of her mother's recipes.
Totally passive aggressive.
And her mother's recipes would have comments in it like, I don't make this often because your father doesn't like to go to parties. And so since he's not social, I don't remember the rest of the ingredients. Something to that effect. It was, it's clever and funny at the same time. But
And then there are all the, like I had brought up, the TikTok recipes, which are usually grosser than gross. But we did find somebody that we like to watch, Josh and Mama.
And they're from South Carolina, right? Our neighbor.
Are they South Carolina or Georgia?
They're in South
Carolina. For all the videos that they do, it's amazing that they haven't gotten any better at cooking or don't know some of the basics. But they're fun to watch.
They're incredibly fun to watch and have grown nearly 1 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
But and they've only been doing it for a couple of years, from what I gather.
And some of them are really gross recipes that you're like, there's no way. But they give it a try because it's trending. So they keep an eye of what's trending on TikTok and give it a whirl.
What again is cute, and I think it has mass appeal. Why social media is kind of fun is when we think about the ice bucket challenge, these things that gain traction or go viral, and we're all then throwing cold water on us, But in my point with this is, they get their videos that they'll call out an individual who sent them something, which is sweet, and Mama, who does the cook, Josh is the photographer and producer, and to this day, as many dishes as that she's cooked, and again been given directions, an ingredient list, the gal still puts water and pasta together before it boils.
She doesn't,
which is
strain
completely wrong. And
yeah.
exactly, and anything that comes out of a can, she doesn't strain. She doesn't take the liquid off.
Yeah, but they're fun to watch. If you haven't watched them, it's worth a watch. And it's fascinating to see all these appliances that cook things. It's
the kitchen industry. That's a big. And to your point, I mean,
there's one apparatus. It was called sous vide, which I thought was a cooking technique, being cooked in water, but this is a whole different thing. It's like a refrigerator and an oven, and you set a timer, and you can select something off of the internet, and it knows the recipes. And so while you're away at work, it will keep it refrigerated until it's time to cook it, and bingo bango, you're done.
Well, okay, honestly, we bought a stove, or we bought a wall oven, and it was hard because with COVID, our oven went out and you couldn't get any appliances. And it connects to the internet. And of course, I love technology, don't get me wrong. I'm thinking, why in the hell would I want my oven? Why would I want to be able to turn it on with my phone? Here's the cool part. So when we pick up pizza or something that we're going to have for dinner, I turn the oven on in the car, so that when I get home, I can put the pizza in there to keep it warm.
Right.
And I don't have to wait for it to warm up.
That's a good use of it.
And to your point, these apps, you scan, you open your phone, you take a picture of the thing, and it'll set the oven at what you're supposed to. That's kind of cool too.
Right. Well, and it came with meal delivery services too.
Well, that's the other
thing. So
it
isn't just your ad hoc, you're ordering the food too, which is a huge industry. Huge industry. And I guess that saves you, it saves you time. It might save you money from eating out.
Well, it's the little things, like when you first move into a place and or you've gone through, as you've packed to move, you realize that the spices you have are 10 years old.
20 years old. Yeah.
So that, those first few visits to a grocery store when you're unpacking and moving in
and trying to cook, it's
nothing.
Huge startup costs.
So exactly, and in all honesty, the fact that these meal prep things, I mean, it's gourmet chef prepared meals that are portioned out that you just put together, or in this case, like with the thing that you mentioned that Mom and Josh are hawking, is this device that all you do is put the thing in. And it's not into boiling water like sous vide is that we thought.
Right.
But this thing is a true convection oven or microwave. It does everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's certainly some advantages to having it prepackaged like that. If from a health perspective.
Well, and time is of the essence. I was fortunate enough to be at home, be a stay-at-home mom. So I could actually make and cook a lot.
What's our favorite? And
I enjoy doing it.
What was our favorite story about? Or one of again guilty reality shows that. And again, congratulations to Tammy for losing all that weight, 1,000-pound sisters. But one of my favorite things about
they had all the meals.
They bought her a meal plan, and she tried one. It didn't fill her up, so literally she ate 2 weeks of meals in a day.
Yeah. Poor thing.
That's just funny.
What's a suggestion? Maybe they have a little winky eye on it.
Yeah, referring to the Arrested Development Lucille classic scene where she was a drinker, and she went and grabbed one of her medicines And on the bottle, you know how they have the symbols of, eating something, or in this case, there was a martini glass with a little winky eye next to it. And she took that as you might as well take this one with a drink.
Yeah. It's a suggestion.
No,
Wink.
you don't mix it with alcohol because it'll make you sleepy. But she thought and she'd pick up the bottle each time and she'd wink back
face.
into the bottle.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
So clever.
So winky face on the meal prep.
But so, with these, to your point, celebrity chefs, and there have been some turmoil, I guess, for lack of a better. Didn't you tell me recently the one gal with the great big smile?
Giada.
Yeah, she doesn't actually eat anything.
She has everybody else taste it.
Then how the hell do you,
Then you're not a chef. I mean,
and then that Robert Irvine guy who also has a series of shows,
Restaurant Impossible.
Yeah, which again are clever.
Mm-hmm.
The dirt on him was that he had lied about cooking for the Queen.
Right.
And they caught him. And then
but his show was already a success, so they're like, yeah, mea culpa.
Okay. Is that a city in France?
I don't know.
Oh.
When in Rome.
I don't think you're using that right.
San Diego.
Whale's vagina.
Anchorman, gotta love it. But the food industry is huge. Whether you're cooking, you're prepping, you're delivering, or you're watching. The other category, food reviews. We like watching them on YouTube. Different restaurants, or even on television, the diners, drive-ins, and dives. But is a mukbang an actual review?
It's funny as hell. They and again, I guess I'm like a kid because then I'll watch something like this and then I'll get chastised by the younger generation and telling me that, that was a thing 10 years ago, or that's not how you say it, but yeah, we discovered there was the series, the couple, Snacks and Lex, who they prank each other with food. They'll put a ton of hot sauce in something, or one of my favorites.
What's wrong with you?
Well, that's the thing that makes this.
Funny the first couple times.
You can do this once or twice, and this is where again I don't want us to fall in, and I think we've done a good job not falling into the repetitive route. That's taking on different topics, and so unfortunately for them, it's the same shtick. It's pretending like when I walk, and these are all filmed in the car.
Right.
A mukbang is filmed in the car. The Snacks and Lex, little pranks they play on each other are filmed in the car, while one has to go back in because there's something wrong with the order. They missed their drink. Long story short, that's when you see the nefarious actions going on. And my favorite was when one of them poured out the Coke and put soy sauce in,
yeah, that was
which looks exactly like Coke.
But you would be able to smell it.
Well, you'd think,
but that show isn't truly the mukbang.
No,
spelled mukbang.
But
well, explain to people what that is.
Well,
you're watching somebody.
I wasn't
eat
sure
food.
if it was. To your point, I wasn't sure if it was mukbang.
Right, but they always say what our favorite one that we don't like, but we do like, Trailer Trash Tammy. Oh my God, vulgar woman.
Well, I guess she does stand up.
Yeah, she calls it mukbang. And apparently people like to watch.
People eat.
People eat.
But give reviews. Well, in this case, they just want to try something new and then talk about it. And I think that's great. We've got a couple that, again, we watch on YouTube that, will visit places local mm-hmm. that we appreciate that because it kind of gives us a head up on whether or not we want to go there, or even more important is that, hey, I didn't like it, they didn't like it. We kind of found the same things that were either good or bad about the place. And so those are kind of neat. And it's amazing to me that I don't know how they do all of this content and still maintain a full-time job, or is it become their job that they're doing these things? It's amazing how much content is out there. And again, I look at what we've done, and this is now episode 20.
Oh, how about that?
And we've averaged, it's funny, we've gotten obviously much more long-winded. It was hard for us to do 20. And I think we're now falling out of a chair. We can do 30 minutes without even thinking about it. But yeah, it is about content. Back to the email and the AI. And I can't wait to see what AI says about my recap of those movie quotes from Anchorman. But so this other platform that's, sent us a congratulations about our podcast, and the fact that what we're building is so early on, I don't know, it's content that's important because everyone is consuming so much of it. Mm-hmm. You need new content constantly. Right?
Well, we're hoping to fill in that void.
Well, but then you also want to have replayability.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to make it, interesting enough or funny enough to, to go back and listen to it again. So as far as the foods go, one note I had taken, you're talking about the food industries, regional foods.
Oh,
and maybe this is something we can ask folks, and everyone hears me complain about in the South, they don't know pizza like the Midwest. No question. But
we have more, in Ohio, we had more pizza places on the corners. Here, it's Baptist churches on the corners.
Right. But the claim to fame here in the South is barbecue.
Yeah.
And there's a huge industry. Hell, there's a whole city devoted to that. So we have Lexington, North Carolina. You talk about like a Ohio city or town that has 10 pizza places to serve, population of 10,000. Lexington, North Carolina, they of course have a barbecue festival every year, but themselves, there's at least 30 barbecue places
in a small town.
In a small little town. And it's like a cult. But one of the big things that I haven't gotten used to is their idea of coleslaw down south.
Oh, yeah, the red slaw.
It's red coleslaw, which I guess it's healthy because it's mayo free.
Right.
But its ingredients, remember, it's ketchup and vinegar with slaw, with cabbage.
Or sometimes it's barbecue sauce.
Sometimes it's barbecue sauce.
But the one we just had, it tasted like ketchup and cabbage.
I don't understand. Nobody knows. There are very few places that do mayo.
If you grow up with it, then you like it.
I even tried it again.
I know.
Recently. I don't understand.
It's kind of like people that didn't grow up with Skyline chili. They try it and they're like, what in Sam Blazes?
Well, yeah, the whole idea. Yeah, nobody. The concept of putting chili on spaghetti or pasta is. People look at you down here like crazy. Matter of fact, we would. There's only one Kroger in Myrtle Beach when we would visit Myrtle Beach, and of course Kroger carries the cans of Skyline chili. We would end up coming back from vacation with 10, 20 cans of Skyline chili because you can't get it anywhere here.
Well, you can now since Kroger bought Harris Teeter, so we can get our fix. But it's not the same as going into this Skyline. Chili. That I can't wait to have that when we head back up to Ohio.
There you go.
So many places to eat. Now I'm hungry. Now I want Skyline.
Okay. Well, I guess until next time, this is Jim.
I'm Diane.
And you've been listening to The Works.